Whoa, welcome everyone to another video and an update. I'm a day late, so apologies for that. But as you can see, the scenario has a little bit changed, so I'm currently at my new place, got my own apartment now, which is actually pretty fun. And yeah, things have been good. There's a lot of stuff that happened during the week, and amongst other things, obviously I moved into the new apartment. Have a bit of a ghetto studio setup still here. I mean, you still see my bike in the background. Eventually there's going to be a green screen there. I'm pretty sure that eventually I'm also going to move those videos outside, but for the time being we're still using this setup right now. In the background, you can actually see one of the plazas here in Valencia, and the inner city is pretty close to the apartment. I can walk there within 20 minutes, so it's actually pretty easy for me. And yeah, it's been fun. Valencia so far has been pretty amazing. The apartment has been nice too. There's still a couple of things that they have to fix. There's like a broken window, for example. There has a crack that they have to switch out. A couple of other things that weren't done yet. Apparently the apartment has been renovated for nearly a year now, from what I heard from the neighbors. And so some of the stuff wasn't just completed yet, so they're still doing all these things, but I already live here and I have internet now as well, so I'm not Airbnb-ing it anymore. Don't have to rely on the Wi-Fi there and the connection. Instead, I have pretty sick internet, 600 upload and download, so I'm very happy with that. It changed the entire way that I interact with YouTube, to be honest with you, because uploading my VODs to YouTube always took quite a bit of time. I mean, up to an hour and a half. Now I upload a 5 GB video within 2-3 minutes, which is pretty insane and saves me a lot of time and makes my PC available to me a lot faster. Internet here is an interesting thing. Outside of the connection being amazing and me having a lot of fun with that, when I came into the apartment, the first thing that I actually looked at was, I looked for the sockets, right? So wherever I would plug in either a phone or like internet cable, and I couldn't find anything. I was a bit surprised, but I was just like, okay, let's see how this is going to work out. And I called the internet company and they sent someone over to install the internet, to install the cable. And I expected the guy to install like a plug somewhere. And so he comes in, and I live on the 4th floor, so he comes in and he checks everything out, and he has a massive amount of cable with him, and I'm like, all right, let's see how this is going to work. And apparently in Spain, it's completely legit that the guy just simply goes ahead and says like, all right, I'm gonna attach the cable now to the outside wall, drill through the wall, run the cable inside the apartment and set everything up here. So he just walked downstairs and just ran the cable all the way up to the 4th floor and on the outside of the building. Like, I think it's pretty cool and it's kind of fun, but at the same time, if you pull that shit in Germany, any kind of inspector is going to have an aneurysm right there and it's going to die on the spot. So for me, that was actually really amusing. And everybody in Spain that I talked to is just like, of course, that's how it's done. Like, how else would you do it? And in my head, I'm just like, well, have the cable in the wall and run it there like every other country that I've been to so far. So it's actually pretty cool. There's a bit of a laissez-faire attitude here in Spain, and it's quite enjoyable still. There's a couple of bumps as well, but so far things have been pretty good here. There's also a massive festival going on, or well, it's soon going to start, and Fires is in March, and apparently it starts, I think, on the 15th and runs until the 19th, but they already have a lot of fireworks here, and also Mascleta, which is pretty much not proper fireworks, but it's like more explosions that they set off, and it all happens in a massively crowded square where they have hundreds of kilograms of explosives that they just simply detonate. You feel your bones shaking pretty much, and your clothes too. And I experienced my first one, and I was just like, okay, this is not really healthy. This is kind of nuts, but it's a lot of fun. People are celebrating the entire time, and from what it seems, every day from the 1st of March, they're going to have something like that around 2 p.m. in the main square here, which is kind of nuts because they're shutting down all the traffic through the inner city, and those are not small streets that they're shutting down there, and the entire plaza is completely crowded. So it's pretty fun. Weather also quite enjoyable here so far. I mean, I gotta be honest with you, so far my decision to move to Spain has been a good one. I've been quite enjoying it, and there's a lot of stuff to still be done with the apartment. There's a lot of bureaucratic shit that I still have to take care of, but it's actually going really well right now, and everything is going to be solved in a week or two, at least I hope so. But outside of that, I've started streaming again. That works quite nicely. Got my coffee machine now, which is actually awesome. My apologies for the for the gray mug, but there's going to be a better one soon. But yeah, I've been biking also. Found actually one bike club or a group at least that rides on Saturdays. I've been riding with them and met a few guys that speak also decent English, and well, at least one or two of the group. And I've been cycling with them, so we've done a couple of 100 kilometers together, and I'm going to do that soon. Again, I'm probably going to link the Strava profile in the description on the YouTube video if you guys are interested to check that out and look at the routes, and I'm going to upload a couple of pictures in the near future as well. But things have been pretty fun. My Spanish is starting to get along. Questions that I had in the last video were mostly centered around why I moved to Spain and how good my Spanish is. And I gotta admit, my Spanish is pretty garbage. I'm currently trying to learn and usually practice 30 minutes to an hour every day, mostly using Duolingo, running into the problem that the Spanish that is taught on Duolingo is not quite the same that's been spoken here. Valencia itself, they have their own language, Valenciano, which is a little bit different than the proper Catalan Spanish here. But yeah, it's Latin Spanish, Latin American Spanish that's actually being taught in Duolingo, and there are a couple of differences. So eventually I'll have to take classes too, but I thought that would be a good starting point for me. And so far it's actually been going really well. The problem is I'm nowhere near conversational. I have a couple of phrases that I can throw out, but whenever I get a response, I'm absolutely helpless. So it's getting better. A couple of weeks and I should be at a decent spot here. But yeah, I'm currently improving that. And it's definitely needed because the English of most Spanish people that I've met so far is, let's call it, questionable. There are a couple that speak a pretty decent English, but they are few and far between. So yeah, you gotta be a little bit lucky with that. Outside of that, the question why I moved to Spain, it's pretty simple. It's because I could. I mean, I was moving back to Europe one way or another after HTC got cancelled, still repping here the Heroes Global community, or the Heroes Gaming community. But yeah, with the move back to Europe, the question was simply, where would I go? And obviously the question, or the immediate answer would have been like, well, back home to Germany. But I really kind of fell in love with the weather in California and decided that I also like living close to the beach. Doesn't really matter if you go there a lot, but the climate alone, just having a beach nearby and like an ocean nearby is pretty nice. And of course, in the summer, it comes in pretty handy too. I also like cycling, so Spain all of a sudden became a really nice alternative. And so far, I haven't regretted it at all. Might change, of course, in a couple of weeks or months, like I don't know yet. But yeah, it was just simply the choice to say, let's give Spain a shot. Let's try Spain. And if it doesn't work out, I can always move back to Germany. So far, it's been a blast. But yeah, that's pretty much the only explanation for that. There's also apparently a bit of a confusion still going around of what I do for work, which surprises me slightly because I've now been a commentator for esports for 16 years. I started back then in school and then continued throughout university. But after I got my degree, I decided to do that professionally for a while, and ever since then I've been doing nothing else but commentating esports. I lived in Korea for that, did it from Germany, I lived in the US now for 2 years, and now in Spain, and so I do Twitch and YouTube, the same things that I've done before I moved to the S for HGC. And honestly, I'm not planning on changing that anytime soon. As long as people are happy to watch my videos and listen to me on Twitch, I will continue doing that. It's the job that I love and might not get rich of it, but it's something that definitely enjoy doing, and I don't see a reason to change that as long as it pays the bills. So that might explain things to a few people that weren't aware of that. I didn't give up a job in porn. Some people had that question as well, going into the Johnny Sins meme again. But yeah, that's pretty much the setup for now. So for the week, I'm still planning to, first of all, home in a little bit more on the Spanish lessons. The whole idea for this week is also to make sure that I fix the small things in the apartment here. Still employing Amazon quite heavily to get my stuff set up here. Coffee machine, as I said, just arrived, so I'm pretty happy about that. Finally, a bit of morning coffee. And the studio setup here is going to change quite a bit too. I mean, I have proper lighting now. First day, not even that was an option here for me. And I'm getting a green screen in a little bit. And there's a couple of other adjustments that I really want to make to just improve the audio over here. Shouldn't really be too echoey anymore, but the room is still quite empty, so there's more things that will be added to the room, and then it should improve the audio a bit more too. yeah, and outside of that, I'm gonna try and enjoy Spain a little bit, explore Valencia. Food so far has been amazing. The one thing I haven't tried yet, and I know that is a bit of a sacrilege, I haven't actually tried Valencian paella yet. Tried quite a bit of Spanish food so far, and especially the guys that I cycle with. We were exploring and like usually you have a bit of a stop, and they introduced me to a few of the Spanish or the Valencian oddities or specialties, and it's been pretty fun so far. I mean, either way, it was just a short update from me. Again, I'm going to keep you guys updated, hopefully more or less on a weekly basis right now. And the same rule as we had last time holds true again. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask them in the comments. I'm happy to update you whenever I can on the progress here. And if there's anything specific you would like to know, then yeah, just write a comment. That's pretty much it for this week. Hope that you guys have a great week, and I'm going to see you in 7 to 8 days. And I'm going to also report how this entire fires thing, the festivals here, how that continues, because on the first day was pretty nuts, and it is supposed to ramp up again starting from the 1st of March. So with the next video, I should probably have an update on that too. Might actually go and record a video at some point to just give you guys a bit of an idea. It doesn't quite tell the story, and I mean, pictures and videos can only give you a bit of an impression, but that might be enough. So yeah, either way, hope that you guys have a good week and talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.